there, chipmunks! Welcome to the AMP Cycling Ride Review Series. I'm your host, Angry Chipmunk, and today we're back in Italy for one of the Challenge family rides. This is the SanRemo 25-kilometer route. This route is available on Rouvy, so let's get right into it. Now, this is the shortest version of the SanRemo rides at only 25 kilometers long, but with 1,125 meters of elevation gain. It averages just 4%, but will max out at 12%. There's one Strava segment included on this ride, which is Vignai. The first approximate 7.5 kilometers are pretty flat before you get to the segment, with mild gradients up to around 8%. The Vignai climb starts at about the 8-kilometer mark, however, the climbing actually starts in earnest at about 7.3 kilometers when you turn a corner and immediately see gradients of 6+%. Vignai is just under 16 kilometers long and has over 900 meters of elevation gain. Strava lists it as an HC climb. Now, the nice thing about this climb is that it has several false flat sections, which you can use to break up the climb into, say, 3 or 4 chunks. But once you turn onto the climb, it's straight into gradients of 7 to 10%, which it will maintain until the first of those false flat sections. Pace it moderately, and at that first mellow bit, grab a bar of around 10 to 20 grams, or even mix a smaller bar with some fast-acting carbs. Something like a mini chocolate bar would be good here. It's the longest of the mellow sections, with the gradients around 1 to 5%. The next 2 to 3 steep sections are mostly the same, with the gradients in the 7 to 10% range. If you start feeling tired, another chocolate bar or another fast-acting carb should be good for the remainder of the route at the last of the mellow sections. Now, like most Italian climbs, the last 4 kilometers are going to be the worst. It gets quite a bit steeper, frequently going into the 10+% range. So grab those easy gears and just spin. Try not to look at the distance remaining here. It will seem like you're not moving at all if you eyeball it constantly. The end of the segment is the summit though, so once you're inside that last 1 kilometer to go, you will feel a surge of energy to get it done. And then there's about 1 kilometer of descending to the end of the route. You'll be wanting a pretty good warm-up and cool down on this one, as it is quite a lot of elevation gain. Give it at least 10 minutes, but don't overdo it, just enough to get warm and stretched. And you may want an electrolyte water for this one, as you do sweat a bit more on climbs and use a bit more energy. And definitely follow this one up with a protein of some sort and a magnesium supplement to help with recovery. It isn't a big mountain pass, but it has as much climbing as one. And the view on this one is spectacular as always. You're nestled within some bigger mountains and a lot of enclosed forest road. It's mainly on a one-lane road, so extremely peaceful and serene. Now be sure to look out for the purple Merc and old Fiat along the way. Overall, this is a great route that I would definitely recommend. It is more suited towards the climbing enthusiast, as there's actually quite a lot of climbing to be done. It isn't the steepest of climbs, but at around 16 kilometers long, it is actually pretty tough. And it took me just under 2 hours to complete on 100% difficulty emulation, so budget anywhere from 1.5 hours to 2.5 hours for this one. I did it on a week of big climbs every single day, so this number is likely to be a little bit slower than if you're having a more moderate week. For this route, I would give a 5 out of 5. It's a great route with a surprising amount of difficulty. For the climb, 4 out of 5. The climb is harder than you might expect and a nice challenge for the distance, where the climb is not all lumped up in, say, 10 kilometers. For the view, 5 out of 5. Really great roads through the forest with the mountain backdrop. It's really quite nice. And overall, 5 out of 5. Definitely put this one in your ride queue. Well, that's it for this review, so thanks for watching, chipmunks, and be sure to let me know what you think of the SanRemo 25-kilometer route when you've completed it, and let me know when you found that old Fiat. I'll leave you to finish the rest of the ride, and I'll see you next week for another review. Until then, ride on, chipmunks, ride on.